Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius.
And welcome to the Tiberius Show today, and I am your host, Tiberius Boy. And as always, we're looking at various jobs and how they affect the world around us. Today's guest is going to be very interesting. We're going to talk to a guy that runs a batting cage. Do you have any idea what someone that runs a batting cage does? Well, I assume he throws balls, but let's talk to this guy and find out. Let me introduce our next guest, the one, the only, the amazing Rob Hodson.
Hey, I'm here.
Well, thank you for being on the show. Okay, so you are listed as the operator of a batting cage. Can you explain to our listeners exactly what that means?
Okay, basically, an operator is basically showing somebody that either has not been in a batting cage or has been in a batting cage of what they're doing. Operator also consists of running the machine. Because you have to set the high and the low to the batter's height. So if a little kid is like 2.5 feet, gotta try to bring it down to their level so they can try to hit the ball.
That makes sense. Well, what got you interested in starting the business of a mobile batting cage service?
Well, all my life, as growing up as a kid, I've always loved the sport of baseball. It just came to a magazine to me at one point in time that I had seen a trailer that turns into a batting cage. And I said, that'd be interesting to try it, see what happens. But that was kind of more expensive to do that level. So I started on the lower level to get the cage that moves on the ground and work your way up.
That makes sense. So how is using a mobile batting cage different from a stationary facility?
Well, a mobile, it can be set up anywhere. So like I can go to your house, or I can go to a park, or I can set it up anywhere you want me to set it up. Okay. Stationary it doesn't move. You can't move it.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
So people go to a batting cage. More people go to a stationary batting cage, but when it comes to you, it's just, fun and exciting and,
Okay. Now, what's the most rewarding aspect of running a batting cage?
The rewarding, to me, probably like watching the kids, I'm trying to think of a word to say. Have fun themselves. Learn how to swing, because a lot of them swing the ball like a sword. They were never taught how to swing a bat. So I go and I explain to them how to swing a bat.
Okay, that'll work. So do you throw the pitches or do you have a machine do it?
There's actually a machine that does it, and what I do is I set it up at about 30 feet back from home plate, which is about half the distance of 60 feet. So in reference, it's really going about 50 miles an hour.
Wow.
But I can slow it down to a little bit. But it's going actually 25 miles an hour.
Okay.
It's equivalent.
That makes sense. So do you have like different settings for different skill levels?
Yeah. What I have it set on is like the slowest level. The next level will be like really fast. But this is again talking about at a 30-foot distance.
Yeah.
So if you go level 1, I say it goes to like 25. Level 2 will go to like 40. But just think of the numbers. When you're at 40, at 30 feet, you're really going 80 miles an hour trying to hit the ball. So that's going zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah. Older adults could probably do it. Yeah. But kids, younger kids, they just, I want to try to, what I do is I make the batting cage for everybody. And then if they want it set at a certain speed, I'll set it at a certain speed for them.
Okay. So how fast is the fastest that the machine can throw?
Okay, the fastest it can go is 85 miles an hour. But like again, I said 85 miles an hour at 30 feet would be like hitting 120 miles an hour. I don't think anybody can hit 120 miles an hour. I mean, if you can, let me know. I mean, you know.
Well, can a pitching machine throw a curveball?
The pitching machine that I have doesn't throw curveballs, but when I slow it down, it actually looks almost like a curveball because it has a drop when it slows down. But my pitch machine, the MP5, is a durable machine, and so many people have hit it back when they're hitting, and it's just so durable because it's just so strong. Nothing can stop it unless electronical issue or operator error like myself.
What makes your batting cage different than the ones that you can find at the park?
Well, mine has the I mean, you have the choice. I mean, a lot of people they can't even make it to a batting cage. They live out in the country. Yeah. So mine would be perfect for them. If they wanted to rent it out, they rent it out, a certain price. That's where we separate.
Okay. Well, is it safe? Like, what do you do to make sure that kids don't hit themselves in the head or something?
Well, it is safe. The kids under 18, they have a helmet that they put on. Okay. Over 18, I mean, it's your choice. But if you want to get hit in the head, that's your choice too.
Well, what's the best part about operating a batting cage?
The best part of operating a batting cage is watching the kids develop from when you first taught them that same day to like watching them through like 10 pitches. Because when they see the ball after 10 pitches, some of them start to get it. Some of them don't, but the good ones start to get it.
Okay. Well, now, here seems like a good time to take a quick commercial break. Let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And we are back here talking with Rob Hodson. Rob founded a company called Hardnock Mobile Batting Cage. Okay, now, since your batting cage is mobile, how long does it take to set up before it's ready?
Okay, so it depends on like say I have an event, right? So it just depends on what time I get up in the morning to go set it up. So I mean, it could take 30 minutes, it could take 45 minutes. Just depends on the help that you need. If I do it by myself, I say 45 minutes. If I get help, I can get it set up in 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, how do you collect all the balls? Do you lose any?
Well, what I do is I like those little munchkins that are lower to the ground. They can get the balls a lot quicker than us older guys. But that mainly you have to pick the balls up. So, I mean, I've thought of processes to make something to help collect balls where you don't have to bend over and break your back. Maybe it goes through a tube or something like that, and it goes right back to the pitching machine. But those are long days of being thought of. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, right now I gotta bend over and pick all the balls up. But usually, I set the batting cage in the direction of where the balls are going to go. So if the balls are going to go down the hill, you want to be able to hit down the hill. Okay. So that way all the balls will roll down the hill and you don't have to pick them all up.
Okay. Well, do you have any awards or sell baseball caps with the logo on it?
Actually, no, I don't. But hey, that's a great idea to think about doing.
Sweet.
I never thought about that.
Okay. So what is the most misunderstood part about your business?
A lot of people think that I'm just out there to show the batting cage, because when I go to events, they will think that it's there to show, and it's not there to have fun or whatever. So
Okay. So I know this is normally used for fun, but could someone use your batting cage to train for more advanced skills in baseball?
of course, I mean, teams can use it. I've been at softball tournaments where I get a team to go in there and they do it, but because it's the hot state of Florida, the morning time is the best time to get batting practice,
Yeah, 'cause it's cool.
because it's hot during the day in the summertime when you go to tournaments.
Well, what are some of the challenges that you have faced while running your mobile batting cage business?
Okay, well, there's a cable that connects up to the speed belt. If that breaks, then I have to get a new cable or replace that one. Or sometimes it'll slip off because like at a slow pitch, the cable will slip off. But then I just go around, I put it back on, put it back in place, and it runs back. Another thing is the arm. The arm can get bent. You have to set the arm, or the pitching. There's a pitching hand, and then there's an arm that looks like when you're actually throwing it,
Yeah.
because you can see it from the side. I've done it before, being inexperienced, but you learn your lesson once you have your product. You test it out, and
Yeah, that
I've
makes sense.
bended it. So, but then I had to get another one, so I had to wait another week to get another one. So that's why it's good to have supplies
Yeah.
of arms, and
Only costs an arm and a leg.
that's right.
Well, what are some of the key advantages of having you set up at someone's event?
Like I said, I mean, it depends upon what event it is. In order for me to, in order for me to do good, it depends upon the area. If they like baseball, they like it. If not, it's a hit and miss.
Okay.
I mean, some days I do good, some days I don't. But there are events that I get paid at before, where they give me a lump sum to be there for 6 hours, and the balls are free to hit, but I give them 10 or 15 at a time.
Okay, that makes sense. So, do you customize your service based on the event you're at?
Of course I do. It depends on what the customer asks. If the customer wants the softballs, then I rearrange it for them to use the softballs. If they want the baseballs, then I arrange it for them to use baseballs. I mean, the pitching machine can also use real balls. So, I mean, whatever ones they want used.
That would work. How do you plan to expand your business in the next few years?
Well, I mean, I just take one step at a time and see what happens. I mean, right now it's just a weekend thing for me to do, because I also have a regular job that I do too. So, and that takes care of my health benefits. But this is, I think, pretty much do for fun and then extracurricular.
Okay. Well, what's the hardest part about running a mobile batting cage?
The hardest part is maybe showing up and not getting no money, because there's some times where I've shown up and I've only got paid $25 just to be there.
Wow.
So I mean, it's sad, but that's just how some areas of Florida are.
That's what happens. So what can be done to make that easier?
Cut out those events where I don't make any money at, and go to events where I know the money is going to be at, or have paid events.
Okay. So what's the craziest thing that's happened while you were doing your passion?
Crazy. Well, okay. I mean, I do have insurance for the batting cage, so I was in Sarasota, Florida, and a pretty big softball woman came up, and her first time she got in there. I mean, I knew she was a softball player, but she smacked the ball, and it went out of the net, and it hit her nephew in the shoulder. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm glad they signed my waiver because, I have a waiver for them to sign. But, oh my God. I mean, it could have been like detrimental or however you say that word. I mean, that's the craziest one. And there was another one where the ball goes straight out the back where the pitch machine is. And there's a whole bunch of people back there eating at a picnic table. And it goes zoom right by them. And I was like, oh, I'm glad it missed them. Because, I mean, these are things that you do have to worry about when you do set up places like that, so.
The nets cannot be strong enough.
Some of the nets, but I think my net is like 15 to 20 years old. So, I mean, I have to replace it, eventually.
Soon. So what if someone wanted to work towards doing this, for a living? Well, what should they do first?
Well, I mean, if they want to do this for a living, I mean, by all means, go at it. But I mean, you have to start from ground zero. You can't just start. You can't just start and say, "Hey, I can do this. I can do that." You start from ground zero. You get your products. You get whatever you need. But you got to have the money to do it. And if you don't have the money to do it, you can't do it. But I mean, start from ground zero.
Okay. So who can you say was the person that helped drive your passion the most?
Well, I mean, just growing up, I just had a lot of friends that we'd go outside, outside my house and use his house as a fence to hit home runs. Mm-hmm. And, we just, hit home runs out in the street. And we have to call a timeout when a car comes by. So
you don't hit the car.
Right. And that's how I learned to enjoy the game.
That's
you play street ball.
Well, can you provide an example of a situation that didn't go as planned, and what'd you learn from that?
Right now I can't think of anything that didn't go well as planned.
Okay. Well, what advice would you give to my listeners if they wanted to grow up and run their own mobile batting cage service?
Well, the best advice is to make sure that you have the knowledge of what you're doing before you get everything that you need.
Okay. Now, what was the best advice that you've ever received, and who gave you that advice?
Best advice that I've ever received? Good Lord. I might have to come back to you on that because, I mean, there's probably so many good advices I've gotten. I just can't think of one right now.
Okay. Well, what was the very first job you've ever had?
The very first job I ever had was working at SeaWorld in a food service warehouse.
Ah. Well, was there anything you learned from that job that helped you to be a better batting cage operator?
Well, no, because that was a different situation. That was just, I mean, when you get out of high school, this is your first job that you start.
Okay.
When you think about doing things later in life. Back then, I didn't even think about doing any kind of batting cage. I was going to school back then. I was trying to learn, trying to figure out what I can do.
Okay.
I wish I would have known what I knew back then.
That makes sense. Well, what message do you want to tell children all over the world about doing the work that you do?
Well, I mean, just live life and have fun. Make everybody appreciative of what you do.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break to pay some bills. And we are back here with mobile batting cage operator Rob Hodson.
Welcome back.
Okay. Now, Rob, what is your favorite part of your day?
Favorite part of my day would probably be like buckling down to get ready for the next day. Maybe dinner time because you're at home and you're relaxing. You're not at work. You're not busting your butt. So I would say 4:00. That's when it's time to call it quits for me.
You have a point there. So why do you like this job over some of the jobs that you've done in the past?
Well, I mean, it's not that I like this job. I like the passion of it. So I enjoy watching people that have never hit a ball, I teach them how to hit the ball. That's just more excitement right there, just to watch and see somebody that their parent can never ever, or they probably can, but they just choose not to, take them and let them go hit in a small batting cage.
That makes sense. But if you could go back 10 years and tell yourself something, what would it be?
Invest your money into a batting cage.
Okay, that's funny. But what was the biggest mistake that you've ever made, and how did it change you as a person?
Biggest mistake I've made is probably making poor decisions. Poor decisions don't suit you well, but you get yourself back on track. Once you get yourself back on track, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, so when you're not working, what do you do for fun?
What I do for fun? I mean, I'd probably just go home and lay down and chill out. That's my fun, because I'm at an age where you slow down. You get older, you slow down. I mean, if it was like 10 years ago, I mean, I'd be up and doing a lot more. But I'd say, for fun, I just go home and I do play video games. I'm older, but I mean, I more play sports games. So.
Okay, well, what's your favorite video game?
MLB The Show.
Okay. So what's your favorite book to read then?
A book? My favorite book was the author that wrote Lincoln Lawyer.
Okay.
If anybody can guess that, let me know. Michael Connelly is the author of Lincoln Lawyer, and I just enjoy his books, and he's turned some books into some movies and some shows that are good to see.
Okay, now, can you tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid's show. The one story? Well, you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on, you can tell me.
Which one story would you like to know?
It can be an embarrassing story or just something no one knows about you.
I mean, I'm just an outgoing person. I mean, embarrassing. What can I think that's embarrassing? I mean, maybe me being in public is embarrassing, but no, that's not it. Because I enjoy being out there with people. I don't know. I mean, that's another good question to ask because, well, you know what? I'm not embarrassed, but I can go up to anybody and start a conversation. I have 2 stepkids that are grown adults now. They can't stand that I do that because they don't have that luxury to just go up to anybody in a Publix or and just start a conversation. I mean, that's just how outgoing I am.
Yeah, that's me and my friends. Like we just see the teacher talking in class, and then we're like, when she stops talking for like a second, me and my friend just start talking.
Right.
It's just like, okay, like 2 seconds later, we're bored.
Right. Carry on.
Well, is there anything else you think my listeners should know about you?
I think you've covered pretty much, 99.9%. I mean, I don't know if there's like 0.1% left, but.
Okay. Well, do you have a Facebook or website for my listeners to follow you?
Yes, I do, and it's on Hardnock Mobile Batting Cage, and it's on Facebook. So you just type in Hardnock Mobile Batting Cage on Facebook, and you can get a hold of me through Messenger, or you can call me at a phone number. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on the radio, but
You can say it.
Okay, my phone number is 407-432-5485, and you can text me or call me. If you have any questions, like you got a birthday party, you got your team event, or you got any kind of event, call me. I'll be there.
And that phone number again is?
407-432-5485.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Yeah, sure.
These are quart canning jars you're looking at right now. We'll be putting away a lot of cooked beans.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
And thank you, Rob, for helping me with Math Corners. This week, we're going to do some more multi-step word problems. And my dad is always good at finding new problems for me to solve. And today, we're going to talk about pastries.
Pastries?
Okay, so a local bakery sold 120 pastries in the morning and 80 pastries in the afternoon. Each pastry sells for $2.50. If the bakery's expenses for the day were $320 and the bakery owner decides to donate 10% of the net profit to a local charity, how much money will be donated to the charity?
Math. I mean, I always hated math when I went to school. Why'd you give this to me?
Well, you don't have to answer it. I'll go ahead and answer it for you.
Okay.
Well, again, first, this is a real-world problem because every bakery loves to sell pastries. Yummy pastries.
It's in my stomach right now.
So to solve this, you first have to figure out the total number of pastries sold. So you add the 120 in the morning and the 80 in the afternoon, and then you get 200 pastries for the day. Wow. Then you have to figure out the total revenue for the day. So you times the 200 pastries by the $2.50, and that's easy. You can just times the 250 by 2, and then get 5, and then you add the double zeros and get $500.
Wow.
Now, we get a little bit harder. Now, you have to calculate the net profit for the day. So if you subtract the $320 of cost from the $500, you get $180 profit. But wait, there's more! The main question is how much does the charity get? So you have to times the $180 profit by the 10%, so that's easy. Well, you just move the decimal over to the left one time and you get $18. So, Rob, do you have to calculate your profits every day?
Yeah, maybe sometimes, but not all the time. I try to stay away from the calculator.
Now, Rob, my teacher said that I would use math every day. How do you use math in your work?
Well, I mean, math in my work, for the batting cage, batters, I let them hit either 30 balls, 15 balls, or 10, however, it depends upon the situation. If the batting cage is being rented out, then they get like 15 balls at a time. That way I got to pick it up twice instead of eight times.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Rob, for your help with Math Corners.
You're welcome.
And now it's time for the Heart of the Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the Heart of the Lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. This week, we're going to talk about leadership. For me, I think leadership is the act of loving what is good, having self-control, and being disciplined. The qualities of leadership are providing guidance and direction, organization, and being a positive influence on others. Leadership is when someone doesn't just tell you what to do, but they show you how to do it and make you feel like you're part of something important. I saw it in our class when our teacher encouraged us to work together on a project. She didn't boss us around. She listened to our ideas and helped us when we needed it. It felt like we were all in a big adventure, and she was our guide. A leader, I think, is like a captain of a ship, steering everyone in a great journey, making sure no one gets left behind, and making the trip exciting and fun for everyone. So, Rob, did you see your leadership at all this week?
Did I see leadership at all this week? Like, personally, did I see leadership this week? I don't know. I mean, at where I work for my regular job, I am kind of a leader. So, I have to, get things in order for the next day. I got to put stuff on the truck, for tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So, and then I have to tell these guys, I don't have to tell these guys what to do because, the guys know what to do.
Yeah.
But, I am one of the leaders on the place where I work at. So, yes, I would say that I had leadership all this week.
Okay. Well, of all of the Heart of the Lion virtues, which is the one that you see the most?
Can you name all 4 of them again?
Leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility.
All right. Obedience. Integrity. I got integrity because I got the integrity is what? The power? Or integrity is the want? Integrity is the desire to get things accomplished. So I would say integrity for me on that one.
Okay. Well, we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do, shouldn't we?
Yes, we should.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Rod Hodson for being on my show. It has been so much fun talking to you today. I think we learned a lot about running a batting cage and the work that you do.
Thank you very much for having me.
Do you mind giving me your social media and website again?
Of course. Hardnock Mobile Batting Cage is the name of the business, and phone number is 407-432-5485. You can also reach me on Facebook through my name, Rob Hodson. Actually, it's Robert Hodson, but you can find me on email at hardknockmobile.com.
And that phone number again is
407-432-5485.
Sweet. Also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show. And I would like to thank WWPR 1490 AM, Can 298, Soul Radio 24/7, Easy Way TV, and all the other stations that air my show. Please be sure to visit The Tiberius Show on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Rob, have you subscribed yet?
No, I haven't, but I will today.
Sweet. Oh, and leave a comment if you want to bat in a mobile batting cage. Also, be sure to watch us next week on The Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.